to everywhere I need to. We will be starting a new city from scratch. Just got to give me a moment though. Hello, Rajan. Nice to see you. Glad you could pop in. Just give me a moment. I'm just sending out the link and make sure that everything is good. We got good highs, good lows. Before we get started with building a city from scratch. But in order to do that, one must first create the universe. Send that there. Send this there. Luis just sent me a picture of him watching me. Yes, we have all the DLCs installed because I bought the Mayor's Edition of this game and I have everything. I don't know what most of it does, but I've been slowly figuring out, and I think I at least know the basics of creating and starting a city. So that's where we'll be for today. We'll see how far we make it. Yeah, I've probably, without realizing it, been using a lot of what's in the DLCs, but it's hard to tell what was added by DLC and what was in the base game when you just are starting it all from scratch, but hey. Okay, this will be new to you. Alright, well, hey. Hopefully, we can all learn some stuff together, Rajan. I am by no means an expert on this, but we'll see what we can figure out along the way. I can at least make a city that will not immediately burst into flames upon me starting it. So let's go ahead and start. Now that I got the link out everywhere, and it looks like people are watching it just fine, we will go ahead and start a new game. I'm actually going to be using... Where do we want our city to be? We got all of these new areas that were added, or like some that were in the base game, ones that were added in the DLC. We are not doing a snow zone because I'm not ready for that. Tornado, yeah, maybe we'll be destroyed by a tornado. Who knows? Eagle Hills, Eden Valley sounds quite tranquil. Garden Rivers. Yeah, we'll do the arid plains. Why not? That's a nice, flat, mostly flat, expanse of land. That'll be pretty easy for city building. I'm not going to get into anything too fancy yet, so we'll start there. And of course, because this is being done as an IMSA program, and I am an RC in 1504, there's really only one possible thing I can name the city, and that is in keeping with our Clash of the Halls theme. We will be the Pillow Fort. Is the name of our will be the name of our city. Left-hand traffic. No. We'll keep that off for now. Next, random disaster frequency. You know what? Just for the sake of entertainment, why don't should we bump that all the way up to max? You know what? Let's do it. And day-night cycle. I'll actually leave that off for now because it's very difficult to build when you end up in those night cycles. So, alright, we'll turn up the disaster frequency all the way to the top to see what horrible things happen to Pillow Fort. But, alright, with all that done, let's go ahead and get things started here. I got my buddies here, Gunther the Penguin, and the Red Panda, who I don't have a name for. But, yes, this is a dream, so we don't need to have the day-night cycle on. It'll always be daytime. Alright, let's let our new city be generated, and let's see. let's try and get on with it. See how this goes for us. All right, go ahead and pause. Time to start with here. So, yep, we got a nice expanse of flat land to be building our city upon. Kind of get a bit of a hill as we head up here, but $70,000 in the bank to start with. Nice exit off the highway. Perfect. So let's get things started here first. So first thing, before you even unlock anything else, the game will want you to put down a section of road, specifically a 2-lane road, exiting right off the highway, but that is not ideal. So you kind of want, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to actually trick the game first and just build a little bit of road there, and then immediately refund that, because then that unlocks every road option. And what I actually want our exit off the highway to look like is we're actually going to head here into intersections, and we're actually going to be putting a roundabout here and try and line this up with the middle as best I can. No, I don't want it snapping to one part of the road or the other, entry or exit off the highway. So go ahead and put that there in the middle, and then to sort of help brace it so it doesn't get any weird shapes as we go about building, we're going to make some cheap gravel roads just crossing the middle here. The reason I'm putting these gravel roads in the middle is just so that this keeps its circular shape, because I'm going to be building roads that are going to be splintering off this in more or less our 4 cardinal directions, but I don't want it changing shape as we go about it, so those gravel roads, which I'll get rid of later, will help us keep its shape. But for now, we're actually going to get rid of this part and actually make proper entry and exit off the highway. That's kind of neat that the randomly generated names are the White Highway and the Blackwell Highway. Got a nice little dichotomy there in our entry and exit. Okay, so we'll freeform some 2-lane, 1-way roads entering and exiting off the highway so that we can actually connect our city. So we'll go ahead and connect like that, and then just try and have this kind of just curve into the road. And then we'll make an exit as well, so do the same thing. Yeah, right, line it up with that arrow. That'll more or less be right. And then want to make sure I change the direction of this part of it. So now we have entry off the highway. You have a nice little roundabout that cars can just go, any traffic can go down, and then an exit off the highway going in the opposite direction. Alright, that'll be a good start. So next thing we want to do is we want to set up some infrastructure for our city. So electricity and water are the main things, both water pumping and then water sewage treatment. So we'll go ahead and take one of these water pumping stations and put it right down here, right by the bridge, so that we can get some water into our city. We have to connect that to the grid, obviously, but we'll get that in a moment. And then we'll take a water drain pipe, which will pump out sewage, because people will get water into their homes, they'll use it, obviously, and then return it back into the system as sewage, which you then want to drain out. It's not ideal that you're just draining your sewage out into a river, but it's what we'll have to make do with for now. And also a key thing is that you want where you're drawing your water from to be upstream from where you are dumping out your water, because if I reverse this and had my sewage pipe here and my water pumping station here, the water that we'd be pumping into circulation that people would be drinking and using to cook and clean and whatnot would be drawing from sewage water, which would cause a lot of health risks. Definitely would never kill all my citizens with sewage. Oh, Jess. Yeah, why would you ever do that? So, alright. So we got a sewage pipe there, pumping station there. Let's go ahead and connect those using connect those with pipes. And then we will connect that to our city as a whole. We'll actually try and keep that going parallel to the highway. Kind of bring it up to the center there, and then bring it up toward the middle. Just so we can make, just to help us make a nice little grid system. It's roughly the center. Alright, so now we got that. Next thing that we'll want to actually build is generate some electricity. So we have a couple options here. We can either do wind turbines, which will generate anywhere between 0 and 8 megawatts of power, or a coal power plant, which will generate 40 megawatts of power consistently, but coal power plants are obviously going to be much more, they'll create a lot more pollution, but it'll also generate a lot more electricity. So I think, unfortunately, it's not going to be great for the environment, but we'll actually start off with our system being on coal power. Eventually, as our city grows, we'll be able to transition that into wind and solar power and even geothermal, actually. Actually, one of the late games things you can do is actually make your city be on, like, fusion power, but that, we probably won't get to that tonight. So, okay, we got our entry and exit off the highway. We got water and sewage treated. Let's go ahead and actually start zoning out some areas. Gonna get rid of those roads, use some 4-lane roads, and just kind of expand those in our cardinal directions. So basically there are 3 areas that I want to be making branching off of this circle here. A industrial, what will be going north here will be a commercial, and then going this way, east will be our residential. So we'll go ahead and just do 1800, yeah, sure. And then make another, we'll make this one just be 1200 for now, because we don't need too much commercial. Okay, so we basically got our 3 arterial roads going off the highway here. Also, I'm realizing how quiet this is. I'm going to turn on the in-game radio, actually. We'll go ahead and put on coast to coast here and get some music going. Background. Actually, let me turn that down a bit, just so it doesn't drown out my voice. 50 should do. Alright, so now we got our main avenues going off of the highway here, off of our circular roundabout. Now that that's actually done, we can get rid of the gravel road in the middle, actually, and without compromising our circle. So let's go ahead and make out our industrial zone, so that we can plop down the coal power plant there, which will more or less handle the electricity problems for our city for quite a while. Okay. And then we'll want to make some areas here that will be our residential zoning. We don't, gotta pay attention. Oh, still a little too loud. Okay, thanks, Rajan. 10%, 20%. Alright, so let's see. We don't need to make this be too big yet, so we'll go ahead and just go for 800. Connect that up this way, and then make this in the center there. Make that be a nice little grid. Nice little residential grid. Okay. We'll zone this all as residential area, so this will be where people actually come in and live. Yep, just go ahead and just plop down that whole area as a residential area. Everything in the middle here can actually all be residential. So designating or zoning this all as residential means that this is where people are actually going to come and live and put their houses. Low-density residential houses. We'll discuss, I'll talk about what that means later on, but yeah. Just make all this residential. I'm keeping the areas like this little middle area clear because I'm probably going to be expanding the roads that way, so I'm kind of just planning for the future, so I don't have to move people out of their homes when I decide to eventually expand things. Because people tend to not like that when you demolish their house to put a road. Okay, so that's all done. Time is still frozen, which I can control. You can see on the bottom left there, I can control time, essentially, so the mayor of the city has some very interesting powers. For now, I have things frozen as I'm just laying out all of our infrastructure, but later on, I'll unfreeze it so that we can actually have people moving into this town and whatnot. Okay, it doesn't really matter, but it bothers me that this isn't at perfect 90-degree angles, so I'm gonna try and do something about that. Good enough. Doesn't need to be perfect. Yep, and then... Cool. Good enough. Alright, so let's see. We have water, sewage coverage for the entire residential block we've made, and that will connect to our water pumping and our sewage dumping over there in the river, away from where anybody lives, so we don't need to worry about it. We got our electricity, at least a plant, or a coal power plant for that. And now we need to actually make sure that that's looped into our, or that actually connects to our residential area. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run these power lines from the edge of our coal power plant's coverage zone, and we'll actually run that across the highway over here into our residential zone. Eventually, I actually can get rid of these power lines because electricity will kind of jump from building to building. But for now, because there's no connection between this power plant and the residential, we'll leave that there. So, let's see. We got our... Let's do a little mental checklist. So we got residential zoned here, so people can move their houses in here. We got water... let's see, water to be pumped into the system, and then we got sewage to come out of the system here. That's all connected by pipes. And then we got that covered. So I think we are good to unpause time and let people start moving in here. So eventually, or like pretty soon, yep, I should see houses start to develop along this area that I zoned. We're currently losing money, you can see on the bottom left there, but for now, that's alright because we don't have anybody living here and paying taxes yet, so that's to be expected. I like the steady production of electricity, but there are environmental factors to consider. So people are already kind of complaining about the fact that our electricity is done through coal burning, but you'll just have to make do for now. It's a bit of a necessary evil to help us get started, but... Okay, so we have people who are moving in here, families who are moving into these nice little homes that they're building, but they're going to need to want jobs. Also, I realized a fatal mistake. We have our water pumping station and our sewage treatment plant. They don't have electricity. Yes, because, yeah, they are not connected to the grid that our coal production plant is on. So what I'm actually going to do is, I think what I'll actually do here is I will put down a wind turbine. Yeah, wind turbine right next to the water pumping station there. That'll generate some 8 megawatts of electricity, which will be more than enough to power this building. But you can see here that when I'm going to put down the wind turbine, there's that red circle around it. That is you can see there's like the headphone symbol. That means that is a noise pollution circle. So, because I'm putting it all the way out here, just right next to a water pumping station, that won't matter. But if I wanted to put that near my residential area, like if I put that, you know, over here, right off the highway, every single house that is in that red circle would be... They would be facing the noise pollution of those wind turbines, because as it turns out, wind turbines are very noisy, and people don't like living next to those. So that would actually contribute to health problems for the people who live here. So that's one of the in addition to generating a lot less electricity, wind turbines also generate a lot of noise, which people don't like living next to. Although, of course, the trade-off you get is that it's clean energy. It will not pollute the ground. Unlike our coal plant, which, as we'll check in later, it will create a lot of pollution in this area, which means that people, like, you don't want people living in that. So for now, anyway, that was a bit of a diatribe, but we're going to put that down here next to our water pumping station, so that'll be powered, and then I'm going to do the same thing I did with the coal plant and just run some power lines connecting that to the sewage pipe, so that is now all properly powered. Some of those actually ended up in the water a bit, but that's fine. Alright, we can unpause now and let things go. Alright, so yes, people are starting to move in. We're getting some houses, some families. We can even kind of click on them and see what's going on. The Willow residence has nobody yet, but the house is there. Eventually, so the houses are being built. People haven't exactly moved in yet, but we'll see them soon enough. We'll see people actually living in these houses. But when these people are going to live in these houses, they're going to need to want jobs, and so the easiest way I can do that for now is to zone out. I started a bit here. I can zone some industry, factories and whatnot, for people to actually have some jobs to go to. We'll go ahead and cross that road there so that we can make this more of a grid area. And we'll actually go ahead and zone this entire block here as industry. Some of it's not really working because of the terrain not being perfectly flat, but that's alright. Alright, so for now, we can kind of just sit back, let things run, and people... Yep, we have our first resident, actually. Where do they live? Oh, 9 people are living here now. Yep, so people are starting to move into these houses now. This one has 5 adults and 1 young adult and 1 teen, all in this small square house. It's interesting how they're making that work. Yep, you can see our population is starting to shoot up, which also means that my budget in the bottom left, on the bottom left there, currently we're kind of losing money because it costs money to run the power plant, to run the water station and whatnot, but I'm not earning anything because nobody's really working or paying taxes yet. Let the commercial run.
Get your tailgate on, eat some food, grab some adult beverages. Always remember.
These commercials are always very amusing.
And enjoy the on-field action. But, who are you all rooting for? I know I'll be cheering for the home team all the way. Gonna shape up to be a wild ride if those boys can pull it off. There's gonna be some partying. But first, let's chill out with the smooth tracks.
Also, Mia, nice of you to join. I hope you have enjoyed things so far. Things are a bit slow because we're just getting our city started. So on the bottom right there, you can see on my screen next to the temperature, I have those 3 colored bars. One is green, one is blue, and the other is kind of yellowish orange. This is kind of a, it's a very simplified way of looking at it, but you can think of those as demand in your city. The types of demand that your residents are having. So green means residential demand. So that means that if you have a green bar, that means people want you to zone more area as residential because they want to move in, they want to live in your city. The blue bar, which is the biggest one, is commercial. So people want stores, they want places to be able to spend their money and whatnot. So we're actually going to go along this northern avenue here and actually zone this as commercial. And then eventually we'll see some stores and boutiques and whatnot. Like, let's see, small stores and cozy boutiques offer citizens places to spend their money. Low-density commercial can provide the necessities for nearby low-density residential. So yes, once I unpause, we'll see some stores start to appear there, which will hopefully satisfy that demand. People will have places to spend their money and whatnot. And then the last bar, that yellowish-orange one, is basically employment, actually. It's people have a desire to have places to work and whatnot, which for now we're going to satisfy by making some industrial zones, these factories and whatnot. And it makes sense to put our power plant next to that because all of these ice cube factory, nice. They will produce a lot of pollution, so it kind of helps to just group all that in the same area so you can localize all of your ground pollution in the same area, which is not great, but it's the necessary evil that we're going to have to work with for now as we just get started here. So it's like Sims type thing, but for city stuff. Yep, it's like sort of a... Yeah, it's basically like another Sim City style game after that one, unfortunately, failed horribly. We don't talk about that. Okay, so we see here we have 3 of the identical building. That's annoying. 3 identical laundromats that have all moved in and right across from each other. This one is complaining that it does not have water or electricity. See, I zoned this area and once again forgot to expand our water and power grid up to satisfy them. So we'll go ahead and just make that over there. And then we'll also just run some power lines up towards them as well. Gonna have to finagle it a little bit. That should do. Alright, so that should fix those needs for you. Alright, so yep, we're getting some stores. Residents apparently don't have washing machines. Yeah, they need to have 3 identical laundromats. Oh, that's... Yeah, whatever. We'll leave that for now. What else we got? We got drugstore. Yaksu, apparently. And something under construction here. Ooh, hey. Let's see what this is. A general store. Looks like they got a nice little... Yeah, okay. Like a nice little like strip mall-esque building. Very nice. Ah! Industrial Zone is angry at me because they also don't have water. So we'll actually kind of expand our grid out towards them. Oops, auto-saving. Yeah. That'll do, and then we'll kind of just keep our grid pattern more or less going this way. There we go. Alright, so eventually we'll let people sort of move in and get settled here and whatnot. Our residential area is looking pretty nice. Oh, yeah, look at you. The middle residence. It's quite the building you have there. You even got some solar panels on your roof. Very nice. How's our friends, the Cherry residence, with all 9 of you living in here? 7 of... No, wait. 8 people living in this building. I don't know how they make it work. Look at this. We got people walking. Oh, they're all coming home. They were visiting their neighbors and all decided to walk home. See, look at this. We got this massive influx of cars. These are all people who are moving into our city and going to occupy these houses. They heard about Pillow Fort. They heard that it's the place to live. The contrast between buildings is jarring. Yeah. Hey, well, it's just how people are deciding to live here, I suppose. Alright, so yep, all these people have heard that Pillow Fort is the place to be living, you know, with its 3 identical laundromats, 3 drugstores. They got a Fry Guys, and another drugstore, and a bunch of factories. What a place to be. But hey, as we go on here, in the next few hours, we'll see if we can kind of improve this landscape beyond just being a pit stop on this massive highway. But for now, just to get residents in here, just to get me some tax revenue, this is what we'll work with. So let's see, what is our first milestone? The first milestone that will unlock more features for me to use is to have a population of 500, and our city will be recognized as a little hamlet. That'll unlock the ability for me to set taxes, to take out loans, to establish a garbage system, infrastructure, healthcare, education. So, yep, we'll just want people to keep moving in here so that we can get towards that milestone and unlock more things to build. So what I'm actually going to do now is expand our residential area using those spaces I left in the middle so that we're not actually displacing and having to move anybody out. People are kind of unhappy that a road is appearing next to them, but that's a minuscule amount. So we expanded that out. We'll go ahead and actually zone all that as residential so that we'll get more houses moving in, more people here, and more tax revenue, which is very important. Oh, I actually messed up. See, because eventually we will expand out this way, but so that house is gonna have to go. The Lynch residence, you're on borrowed time for now. Actually, there's nobody in it right now. We can get rid of it without too much of a problem, and we'll actually unzone that. All right. So let things keep going. Zone this area here. Leave us some space to expand the roads, though. And then check that everybody here has water coverage. Just about. Actually, no. These houses at the end here are going to be without it. So we'll go ahead and expand this pipe out this way. 90-degree angle. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I like building your infrastructure on a square grid as much as possible. I actually can't here. Well, 84 degree. Good enough for me. There we go. So that all has water coverage. We're pretty close to running out of money for now, so we've got to play it a bit carefully. But let's let people keep moving in here and keep paying some taxes for me. Because we're running a bit close to breaking the bank here. So I'm actually going to speed time up to go at 3 times speed and just let that all settle. Let all this residential area be squared away. So I am losing money, but the amount that I'm losing per day is decreasing. So we are eventually going to start earning some money as that corrects itself out. Raise taxes. I can't raise taxes yet. That'll actually be one of the milestones that I unlock at a population of 500. So for now, we have to just kind of bide our time until we get there. Squared away. Yes. There we go. So now we are earning money every day. And we are slowly building up towards our population of 500 to unlock the ability to set taxes and do other things. I'll actually no, I'm not even going to expand the road anymore this direction, so we can actually just make this whole stretch here be... Yeah, we can make that whole stretch actually be residential, because this will probably be the edge of our residential area here, because otherwise we're cutting into the highway. Already, actually, if I go into my info views and look at our noise population, these houses are already, because they're right next to a busy highway, they're in a noise pollution bubble, which won't be great for them. They're kind of right on the cusp of it. There will be ways I can actually fix that later on, but mainly I can upgrade this highway to have sound barriers, which will reduce its noise pollution enough. But for now, these houses will kind of just have to make do with their backyard being a highway. Alright, so looking at my demand bars on the bottom right there, we're actually getting more demand for for employment, essentially, so we can actually go ahead and zone a bit more of this area. And eventually we'll start expanding it this way towards the river, as well as our commercial zone. All of this will sort of... I'm kind of just planning ahead for things to expand as we go on here. Even actually beyond the square that we're in, because eventually I can actually unlock and use more of the surrounding area beyond just the square that we started with, but that'll be much later before we're able to do that. Alright, Pillow Fort currently has a population of 417. Our budget is in the green, so we're making money every day, as opposed to losing money, which is definitely not where we would want to be. So, yep, we just gotta slowly build our way towards a population of 500. I'll do that. I'll expedite things by probably moving our residential area northwards a bit, keeping an eye on my money, and then zoning out more of this. Your resident count. AJ, we just started. It's gonna be pretty low. Oh, yeah. Well, it's not anymore, so... What is taking post office so long? Are they mowing the lawn? Excuse me. I will not be able to set up a post office until we have at least 7 times more people in this city. That's it. Where's your house? You're leaving. No. We won't do that. Alright, so, yeah, bit of slow start to things here, but that's just how it is when you are creating a city for the first time. Look at this, we got people, we got someone on their bike, someone else walking after them. Residents are continuing to come in, we even got some trucks that'll be coming in. Looks like you're probably going to head to the industrial sector. And then, a bit of a commercial strip for people to get their whatever shopping desires they need. Or in this case, a lot of laundry, apparently. Fry Guys. Very nice operation you have going there. Gonna have to expand the water grid a bit more. $740. Yep, we can afford that. Just to make sure that as we expand out the residential, that they all have sufficient water coverage. The electricity, I only ran this one sort of set of power lines into the industrial sector, but it'll actually, because electricity, the infrastructure for it, will essentially jump from building to building. So as long as there are houses here, I can keep expanding this way, and it'll still be connected to the same power grid. It's not really like water in that I need to have sufficient pipe coverage under every building. Pretty lively little town. For now, yeah, it is. We're slowly getting towards that 500 population mark. Wow. Very interesting housing situation we have here at the edge of town. Especially compared to these houses. It's quite the living situation you're in. Could we get a new park, please? Taylor Williams, I will not unlock parks until we have 1,600 people. I'm sorry. You would live here, no cap. Well, hey, we'll see. I appreciate that, AJ. We'll see how much more lively we can make it as things go on. Or maybe I'll just slam a massive meteor into it at the end of today's session, who knows. Alright, just a few more houses in here and we will be at 500, which will also give us a nice little money boost, which will help us get a head start on laying out some of the new infrastructure that we'll unlock. There we go, 500 people. We have unlocked the ability to set taxes, we can take out a loan, I can set up a garbage infrastructure, which we're going to want, healthcare, education, and the associated buildings. So, let's go ahead and look at what we've unlocked. First things first, we're going to want to set up a waste management system. Because people and businesses and factories will all produce garbage. And you're going to need a place for that to go. Otherwise people will start living in it and they'll contribute to a lot of health problems. So, to take care of that, we can either put down a landfill, which will send out garbage trucks to collect waste from people, and then bring it back to fill that landfill. And or we can, for a lot more money, more than I can really afford to pay right now, we can set up a recycling center, which will also help us reduce a lot of our waste. So unfortunately for now, just like with the coal power, we're going to have to give in to the necessary evil of setting up a garbage dump, a landfill. So we're going to go ahead and just plop that down here. Relatively easy access to the... Actually, wait a minute. Am I going to be able to expand this road out? No, we're not. So we're going to have to move that. We'll put that. See, I don't really like the idea of our landfill being right on the highway because everybody will kind of see that as they're coming into the city. We'll kind of bury it in the industrial zone a bit. We'll put it there, and then we'll kind of just forego the grid system for one cycle just to expand out this way. Yeah, that'll work. We'll eventually zone that as more industrial. Okay, so we got garbage infrastructure here. This landfill will send out garbage trucks to collect garbage from residences and businesses and whatnot, and it'll bring it into this landfill. There goes one now, actually. They're already seeing the smokestacks when they drive by. Yeah, that's not always a bad thing, though. You know, some people will see that and they'll think, industry and jobs are here. Whereas a landfill, there's really no way of making that be appealing to anybody. So, okay, what else did we get? We also got the ability to set up a medical clinic and an elementary school. Both of those we're going to want in relatively close proximity to our residential area. We'll go ahead and actually let the game keep running. So we're going to expand out this grid. Unfortunately, expanding this road means we're going to have to evict a single house, but that's what you get for choosing to live there. So, yep, we'll go ahead and just keep this grid going this way. Line that up so that actually what I can do now is I can actually connect the residential to the commercial going this way, so that not all the traffic has to go down along our one central roundabout. So that's kind of another way for the commercial and the residential, and actually even a garbage truck is going down that way, so that they can interact this way. And it's sort of in this buffer zone. So what I'm actually going to do here, and this is something that I've picked up on, is commercial zones will generate a lot of noise pollution, as will industrial, and as will the highway. And again, you don't really want people living in an area where they are subject to noise pollution, because that'll contribute to... They'll complain about it, they won't like it. They may move out if it becomes too much of a problem. So what actually I'm going to do, because we have this area where commercial and residential intersect, and you don't really want your commercial noise bubble to interfere too much with people living here, we're actually going to buffer it using, once I have the money to do so, we're going to put an elementary school here and a clinic here as well. Those will sort of buffer between our residential and commercial to help us reduce the impact. Christian, I will also, you moving in would be one of the worst things I can do for the city in terms of noise pollution. That is correct. So once I have the money, we'll plop down an elementary school and a clinic along Myrtle Street here, which will help us buffer some of that noise pollution bubble from the commercial avenue. But for now, let's just keep expanding this residential. Before I go further, let's make sure that they have water coverage. They do. And electricity should also be good, because that's all coming from the coal power plant. So, okay, that's all good.
Seems like the designer mafia has got the modern mandate all over our
So
interiors.
let's just go ahead and make all that be.
As long as it's gray.
All of this can be residential now.
Color no longer on trend. It's like permanent twilight, folks. Classy but depressing, right? Here's some chill vibes to help us ponder the mysteries of style.
I like leaving on the commercials for the radio stations because they are very amusing to me. Just like a lot of the almost like they're almost like GTA like radio commercials, and just how much like satire they lean into, honestly, if you're familiar with those. Of course, that is a game series that is rated M, so we do not condone that here. Not while I'm on the clock, at least. So we're actually getting a lot more commercial demand, so we'll go ahead and actually expand this out this way. What I'll actually do, yeah, we'll actually link that to the industrial zone. And then we'll keep this avenue going down this way for now. Let's get that enough to get me some more commercial along this way. Alright. Next milestone, or what is our next milestone will be at 1,000 people, which will let me actually go ahead and buy the next area, which we don't need to worry about yet, and as well as set up emergency services, take out a second loan, set policies, paint districts. A lot of interesting stuff will happen there. Yep, new houses do not have sufficient water coverage, so we'll go ahead and keep our grid expanding. $400 should do, and then we'll kind of head up to right about where that circle is. And yeah, that'll do. Alright, let's take a nice little very hot sky-high view and see how our city is looking. Quite nice. You can already actually see here that, you know, the ground is being discolored, the grass is dying from all the pollution that our factories are producing, but again, it's unnecessary evil that we'll have to have in order to actually have people here have jobs. So we're actually going to go ahead and paint down more of that. Which again, it's a bit uneven because the terrain isn't perfectly flat there, but it's alright. Factories and whatnot will still be able to set up shop here. Let's check our water coverage here. Yep, everything here is good. We got some more businesses moving in. I hope we don't have more laundromats. We don't need more of those. What do we got? We got a drugstore, which looks more like some kind of fast food restaurant. Got something over here. Neighborhood shop, but yeah, that definitely looks like some kind of another fast food restaurant with a drive-thru, actually. Ooh. Those terrain bumps are OSHA approved. Yes. Quiet corner shop with a massive spinning ice cream cone. You get to see that right as you're leaving your residential area. That's wonderful. Alright, so, yeah. Actually, wait. I also unlocked the ability to take out a loan. So, I can, if I want to, I can already... There's a first person... Yeah, we can actually... I can show that in a moment, Jack. The first person camera. You can actually do some really fun things in first person in this game. So, let's see. We can look here on our economy tab. I can actually set tax rates, which I'm actually going to set to be a universal 12% for in residential, commercial, and industrial. They'll all be paying 12% of their income, essentially. Or, they'll be paying a 12% tax rate, which from what I've read and what I've found from playing through this game, basically 12% universally. Setting that as a universal 12% rate means that that's right on the cusp of people are just okay with it enough to not be angry at you. So that's about the most that you can get before people start getting angry at your tax rate. So we'll leave that there for now. Budget, if I want to, I can actually micromanage the budget I'm putting towards all of our various infrastructure like roads, electricity, water, garbage, and healthcare. For now, we'll leave those as they are, but if we start needing to put in some austerity measures in the city, we'll look at this. We'll look at that again and see what we can start cutting to help make ends meet a bit better. So what I actually want to look at here is we can actually take out a loan, which will immediately give us $20,000 to spend, but we'll have to pay that back with some interest. So I can take out a loan from the Silver Sunset Bank in the amount of $20,000, pay that off over 52 weeks at a 5% interest rate, which means that I'll be paying $403.85 a week. But if we look on our income and expenses here, that shouldn't be an issue because we're making a surplus of $1,200 per week, so we'll be able to pay that off without too much of an issue to anything. So we'll go ahead and actually take out that loan. That'll give us $12,000 that we can immediately spend, and I'm going to use that to plop down our health clinic right there. And look at that, everybody's happy about that. So now they have healthcare, and we'll plop down an elementary school also along the same stretch, which people will also be great about. So now they will send they get like a happiness boost from that, and also they'll be sending their children here. It already has 12 students. Their kids will be going there to get educated. And educated people, we'll explain that more as we go on and unlock more options. But for now, let's just keep building up towards our 1,000 population milestone. Actually, yeah, Jack, as you said, I can actually, if I want to, I actually can, if I remember how to do it, actually. Hang on. Don't tell me, I know how to do this. Oh yes, if I can go into a cinematic view, and you actually have options here. I can actually, if I want to, I can just plop down a person anywhere in my city, and then the game will actually let me. It's not great animation-wise because the game wasn't really built for this, and you can clip through anything. But if I want to, I can actually just plop down a person and just walk around my city, and I think I can even make it be first person. And just get like a nice little first-person view of what my city looks like. Again, obviously, a lot of the texture work won't be great because you really aren't meant to be viewing. The game wasn't built for you to be looking at it this way. No GTA. Yeah. So it can be a Roman police officer. Oh, we can be a grandma. I don't need no help crossing the street. Interesting. I need to leave this town. We can be a park ranger. We can we're not looking at that one again. Give me a little kid. Working guy. Jesus! I could be a bird. Oh, you can actually zoom around as this bird too. Wonderful. Hello! I am your new neighbor. How do you do? Oh no, I haven't explored this too much. You can tell I'm having fun with this. Don't mind me, I'm just walking to work. Arf. Okay, anyway, enough of that. So yeah, as maybe later on we'll kind of explore what our city looks like. Oh, actually you have another option here. We'll look at that. You can also plop down a car, and you can also just drive around like that. If I can figure out the controls. There we go. We can drive around as this donut van. And just take out all of my street lamps because this does not control well at all. And this is a very top-heavy... I don't think this will cost me money if I break all the lights like this, but this is a very top-heavy vehicle and the game engine was not meant to have you do this. Yeah, this does really seem like it was a mod that they made into a feature, doesn't it? It's great that they let you do this. Yeah, I can just drive around as a... Oh, I can even be a bus if I want to. Alright, enough of that. Let's let things resume here. That was too much fun. Maybe when things are bigger, we'll kind of do a little drive through the city like that. But for now, let's just keep going. Keep expanding towards our 1,000 Sims population. Like you're playing like a model train set. Yeah, it does have that energy. Look, people, move in. It's a lovely place to live. You'll love it. I'll actually keep these areas blank for now. I'm not gonna make roads connecting this, but you'll see what I want to do with these parts later on. Yeah, we'll worry about that later. Name something after Bulla. She's your biggest fan. Megan, if you have a suggestion on what screams Bulla energy, let me know and I'll name it after her. I'll keep that going. We'll zone out more residential, but Kind of just future-proof things a bit here. Electricity production is still in the green. We're in the green for that, although we're producing 48 megawatts of electricity. The dump. The Bula dump. Alright. Alright, Megan, I will name this after your cat. We will name our landfill Bula Dump. And so now... Yeah, okay. There you go. That's where Bula goes to dump, you know? For anybody else who's watching, Bula Bula is the cat that is owned by two very close friends of mine who are watching right now. And is now the namesake of our city's landfill. Which is currently 1% full, has 2 garbage trucks that are servicing the entire city. Eventually, when we get the money for it, we're going to want to plop down a recycling center. And here we have the historic Bula National Landfill, yes. We'll want to plop down a recycling center so we can actually process some of that garbage. Alright, we can actually... Let's see. There's a pretty big commercial demand. I'm actually going to go ahead and make this entire stretch here commercial. Commercial next to industrial isn't really much of a problem. That's actually nice because industry will basically make manufactured goods, which they will then send to your commercial industry or your commercial area to sell. So that'll actually work out nicely. They'll have this nice little road to help service that. You got somebody really making a run for it in this rainstorm. Alright. Water production, what are our numbers looking like? We are pumping out... Let's see. We are pumping out 120,000 cubic meters per week, but we're only consuming 24,000, so we're good. And then sewage, we are... This pipe can drain out 120,000, but we're only producing 25,000, so water is good for the time being. Electricity is in the green. We're producing 48 megawatts and consuming 25. That's good for now, but we will. As our population grows and we have more buildings consuming electricity, we'll probably need to plop down some more electric options, or more power generation options. People still want, or park, as in parking, right? I need space for my car. Car space, please. I don't know what to tell you, lady. Other than leave my town. Also, if anybody else is watching and you want me to name something after you in an appropriate manner, let me know, and we can make that happen. I reserve the right to refuse any requests, though. If it's too silly or inappropriate. After all, I am doing this as part of my job. Yeah, we'll zone both sides of this actually as commercial. Give me that ice cream place. Alright, Chris, Christian, what do you, just put in the chat what you would want, what you want it to be.
What does it feel like to drive a cloud? What does it feel like to steer a river? What does it smell like to smell a mountain? At Jubilee, we're committed to letting you do the impossible.
Yeah, just drop whatever you want me to name it in the chat and I'll make it happen. What's your deal? Not enough workers. We got people moving in. Big nose milkshakes. You got it. Quiet corner shop. That is... it's not gonna be anymore. It's certainly not gonna be quiet anymore. Or a corner, you know what I'm saying. Alright, there you go. Ah, isn't suburban sprawl beautiful? Oh, look at you.
fish you're sick of feeding? Bring it in. Got a fish that's been sitting in the sun for a few days? Bring it in. We'll throw it in with the rest of them. What we do with the fish is nobody's business but ours. Just enjoy your salmon, $8.99 with
These commercials are so entertaining.
So, welcome on into Fish Brothers Seafood Themed Restaurant, where everything's a great catch. Except the shrimp.
Alright, let's drop a manual save here just in case anything goes wrong. And otherwise, let's just let things start building. Keep building. Yep, once people move into these areas, we should be pushed past our 1,000 population milestone, which will give us a nice little money boost. And we can keep expanding things.
Right. I mean, what language is that even? Is it ancient Tibetan or Alpha Centaurian or what? Somewhere way out in the biosphere, some alien being is like nodding in agreement with me this very instant. And I got no idea what I just said, but they do. What if in their universe nodding their head means they're hungry?
Yep, at a population of 1,000, we'll be able to plop down some emergency services, so fire and police, which we're going to need as things keep growing here, especially fire, actually, because...
Careful out there.
Ah, yes, there we go. 1,000 people. We can expand into a new area. Not going to worry about that yet. We can zone some districts and set policies. We'll look at that in a bit. Take out a second loan, which I might do, actually, to help us get some more money quick. Set district specialization policies. And emergency services. So let's go ahead and... The mayor has worked tirelessly, and now the regional government has passed a bill that allows for larger city territory. #NX. We're not doing that yet. But we can plop down a police department and a firehouse. So we're going to go ahead and plop down a firehouse. Right next to the clinic. Nah, we'll do it like over here. Yeah, we'll do it here so that this one firehouse will be able to service pretty much the entirety of the residential zone, as well as, if need be, it can also get down here to the... It'll also be able to get down here to the industrial zone. Although probably as things keep growing, we'll want to put another firehouse here in the industrial zone, but for now we'll stick with the one. And then we'll put down a police station as well. I'll hold off on the social commentary on that. Have it next to the clinic. I did leave this. Actually, no. We'll put it just right down the street from the firehouse. There you go. So, yep, we got fire engines, fire station, and a police department here, which will begin also servicing the entire area, preventing crime, and also putting out fires if they happen. Fires especially can be a problem because a single fire, if nothing happens about it, you don't have a fire department that can adequately service it, you can easily have an entire block just taken out by a single fire as it spreads from building to building. Just ask the city of Chicago. Too soon? Go ahead and keep... and also expand that out. And basically we'll just keep following what our city's demand is telling us and what people want here. I believe at 1600 we'll unlock our next milestone, which will unlock some very interesting stuff that'll help me really start giving the city some more personalized life, like parks and landscaping. So we just want to keep building towards that milestone, keeping an eye on all of our infrastructure and making sure that our city is able to adequately handle it. We'll go ahead and expand this out so that I can keep the residential area going. Yep. So again, we'll just keep following what the demand curves are telling us, basically. And just keep our grid of residential going. Our old residential area is looking quite quaint. And, you know, pretty sizable at this point. Sure, it's just an endless grid of suburban sprawl, but that's what you gotta start with. And then our industrial zone is looking quite unsightly and dead, but such is the price of... I'm not finishing this sentence. Name the elementary school as Payne Elementary. You got it. Elementary school, Payne Elementary. Josiah, I don't imagine you're watching this because you're probably watching your kids right now, but now you can put them in Payne Elementary School. Thank you for that, Ben. Ben, if you want something named after you, let me know. Ben, do you want to be our fire station? Just put it in the chat. Or Mia, if you want, I can name something after you as well. Alright, cool. We'll put the... Leap heck. Firehouse. Because of all those fire bars you drop, am I right, Ben? Yeah, that's right. So you got Payne Elementary and the Leapack Firehouse right next to each other. Oh, look at that, they even got like a little outdoor park and whatnot. Yeah, this is perfect for Josiah. Look at this. I don't know if that's a... highly doubt anyone can pronounce building. Well, if you want me to name one, just let me know. Look at this. I don't know if they're selling it or if they're just advertising it here. Pidleoin. Yes. Thank you. Again, if you want a building, let me know. Would you like to be our yakisoba tasty noodles building? No? Okay. That was a joke. Ah, well. I mean, hey, I've already... Okay, but yes. Yep, alright, you got it.
Meteorologists have issued a severe tornado warning for the area. Residents should seek shelter immediately if any is available.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest, I've never had to deal with a disaster in this city. Willie and Elsa want a building or a dog park. Kristen, you messaged me asking for a building request. I'm gonna be honest, we got a bigger problem to deal with right now. What can I do about this? A 9.9 is in the area.
Has touched down in the area.
Hey,
seek shelter
hey everybody!
If any is available.
You need to get out. Okay, it's over here. Our vacation was extended. Can someone water the plants while we were gone? The key is in... I'm gonna be honest, when you come back, your house won't be here. Maybe it'll miss, you know? You know, maybe it's gonna miss. Yeah, just stay over there. Yeah, go that way. Let's be optimistic. It might miss. Wow, it is just destroying the landscape, though. A 9.9 is... Does the tornado scale go... What does that go up to? I don't know what it's called, unfortunately. This is a nice chance to learn while we kind of wait this out. Tornado... scale... The Fujita scale is a scale for rating tornado intensity. Oh, Bula! Oh, you're just gonna survive. It might destroy our water infrastructure, but we can fix that. Oh, there goes our roads. Is it gonna take out the highway? Because I can't fix that. Max is EF5 with 300 miles per hour winds. Oh, there goes our industrial zone. Oh, yeah. Well, we can fix those. And the highway. Okay, you know what? You know what? That could have been a lot. Oh, it took out our power plant. $200 miles per hour. Yeah. Okay. So our entire city is without electricity, and I can't afford to put a new one down. And also, we need to wait for this thing to pass anyway. Okay. We're gonna take out that. You got really lucky. Yeah, I'll say. It took out our power grid, but our entire residential population lived at least. That was something. We're gonna take out that second $60,000 loan so that we can plop that back down. Which one of you was the ice cube back? Coal power plant. There we go. Let's put you back. This building needs to be searched for survivors by a disaster response unit before it can be rebuilt.
With you all day and all.
That is dark. That is morbid. I think you can repair instead of building a new one. Alright, cool. I've never really interacted with disasters much. So for now, okay, you know what, for now, just because we were going to need it anyway, let's just plop down another coal power plant on a stretch of land, on a stretch of the road that does still exist. And let's... Maybe I need to wait for this to pass through first. You better not circle back around. You better just... I see you kind of curving around. You better don't come back here, alright?
A tornado has touched down in the area. Seek shelter immediately if any is available.
Lady, I know. Roads are also not looking... Oh yeah, the highway. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Wonderful. Bula Dump has collapsed, unfortunately. Are we good? Is it over? Okay, let's, we need to repair these roads. How much is this gonna cost me? So let's get the highway fixed again, so that all that traffic can move. I mean, it's not really my problem that the interstate has been destroyed, but I'll be a good mayor and fix that for you. Let's get these... You know, let's get all this fixed. Fix these roads. Okay, we need to make a disaster response unit, but we can't until we have 2,800 people in here. So we're just gonna have to have this horrible rubble until our population grows. That's horrible. I don't like that. Picnic time! Let's all gather at the corner park tomorrow at noon. Read the room. Hundreds of people are dead, and you want to go have a picnic. And these people have no chill. Okay, so yeah, the industrial zone is kind of a disaster area. But we're gonna have to grow our population before we can do something about it, because can't I just get rid of these? Okay, I can just. So you know what? We're just gonna bulldoze. Yeah, we're just gonna bulldoze all of this dead rubble. It said that I need to have disaster response unit sweep for survivors, but we're just gonna be pragmatic here and just sweep all this under the rug as if it never happened. Just ignore the World War I scar that now runs through the entire landscape. It's like the place looks like St. Quentin now. So, okay, we're just gonna let the new industry just build on the corpses of everybody who was destroyed by that tornado. I mean, you know, the Sims don't seem to mind. They're all having picnics already, apparently. So, you know what? There are no casualties if you didn't find any. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Rajan. 19,000. Yeah, you know what? To future-proof us a bit, we're actually gonna plop down that second coal power plant there. That'll help buffer our electrical grid and keep us good for quite a while now. So anyway, let's save after that. On the bright side, that side of town already had bad landscaping. Yeah, you know, a lot of the ground there was dead anyway. I'm just happy that, you know, we got through that without too much of an issue. Anyway, let's just keep the natural growth of things going, huh? Yeah, that's all good. Okay. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse. So that is also a nice lesson for once I unlock it, we're going to want to build some disaster response and emergency shelters for people. But for now, let's just keep things growing. As if that never happened. We got our loans were able to help us reduce a lot of the damage that would have done. So we got things going. I just sent a letter to myself. It's okay, Emma, we've all been there. Idiot. So I have plans for like this space in the middle here. It'll make sense once we get to that. Let's just keep on going. Oh, hey. It's a good thing I turned on the disaster frequency to its maximum, because that was at least entertaining. Our next population milestone will be at 1600, and that'll really let us start doing some neat stuff with plopping down parks and some landscaping. I'm not gonna intentionally put a disaster here, thank you very much. See, if that took out our entire residential zone, that may have been GG, but it didn't. So we, as the kids would say, Gucci. Hey, we had 1337 people here. For a moment we did 1335, so some people just moved out because they heard me make that reference. More residential. These people will kind of be building on some hills, so we might get some interesting stuff happening here with that. Alright, so let's see. Let's do a check on all of our infrastructure. Electricity is very much in the green. Oh, right. People are complaining that their garbage isn't going anywhere because, it got destroyed. Yeah, let's put our landfill back, and you know what? As if nothing, actually, we'll call this the Bula Dump 2. Or should we call it the Bula Memorial? Oh no, because it's not Bula that's gone. It's the dump. We'll just go with Bula Dump 2. In memory of the first Bula Dump. Soren and Megan, I'm sure you remember fondly Bula's first dump. Hopefully, no. Roads. Zoning. That's what I want. Yeah, we can make this be residential again on this side of the road. Get some houses moving in here. Keep us going towards that population milestone to unlock some more stuff to build. Yes, don't worry, your garbage situation will be taken care of shortly now that Bula Dump 2 is in operation. Actually, we have the money. We could afford to plop down a recycling center. Normal spaghetti mess. I mean, hey, I was going to say, it's like, I'm wondering if, like, what the opinion is on, like, having a city be on a very rigid grid system as opposed to one that's more loosey-goosey with its road structure. I mean, it's a lot more visually interesting to look at one like that, so... But I guess this is probably maximizing, like, efficiency and like ease of travel. So anyway, we're gonna plop down a recycling center so we can actually start what's the word I'm looking for? Processing the garbage that our city is producing and not have to rely and like, because if our landfill gets full, that'll be a problem because we'd have to plop down a second one. But if we can recycle to do something about a lot of that waste, that'll help out. Oh, we got a fire, and look, first responders are already on the scene. The Lake residents and the Maple residents caught fire, but fire trucks already took care of it. If I didn't have that fire truck happen, that could easily have taken out this entire block of houses, which would be expensive for us. We can make this corner be some houses as well. I don't know, somebody living right next to the police station? Maybe not. Although, actually, that's kind of what happens here in Aurora, now that I think about it. That massive police station not too far from here. There are residential that's right across the street from it. Alright, all that extra zoning I did should probably put us over our 1600 population milestone. Oh, I unlocked landmarks, actually, so if I had the money, I could plop down a massive theater or a department store. Hypermarket. If the supermarket is not enough for you, this is your choice. The hypermarket has everything from groceries to home appliances under one roof. And that's not all. There is free parking 24/7 and special discounts every day. Wow. You can put down Brandenburg Gate for a lot more money than I currently have. You can put down the Statue of Liberty. Definitely can't afford that yet, though. Alright. Old Mac Chirpnold had a farm. Don't waste my time with this kind of nonsense, you hear me? Actually, looking at our electrical grid, I can actually get rid of these power lines now. Because, like, the electricity from our coal plants, so that one and that one, is now sufficiently traveling up our commercial district and then into the residential area. So all of these power lines can actually go, which will free up more space for building and zoning. So, like, for example, I can now... Yeah, we can already have a house moving in there, in here. Keeping this blank because I have plans for here. Once we get to 1600, you'll be able to see what I'm doing with a lot of the blank area that exists between houses and buildings here. Oh, hey, look, the grass is already starting to grow back in over the scar of the earth that we had. Like, nothing even happened until a meteor just destroys our entire city. What else can even happen in these disasters? We can have a fire. Those happen already. Collapses. Okay. Meteor strike. Tsunami. Forest fire. That could... Well, actually, we're not really that densely packed with trees, so that won't be an issue. Earthquake. Tornado, which is what we had. Thunderstorm, which can set fires, but shouldn't be too much. A sinkhole. That could be awful. Hey, there we go, 1,600 people. So now we can do a lot of cool stuff. You can see a lot of stuff that got unlocked here. So let's pause the game. That also gave us a nice money boost, and this will let me do something that I find very... Well, actually, first of all, Kristen asked me, RC Kristen asked me if I can put down a couple of dog parks named after her woofers that she has recently brought into her life. Willie and Nessa want a building or a dog park, please and thank you. Oh, I can do that. Once I find it. Small playground, small park, large playground. It's here somewhere. One of these options is a dog park. Garden, fishing island, Magic theme park, dog park. There we go. Where do we want that? We'll put their dog park right next to Josiah. So we're gonna have to move the clinic over like a square, which is inconsequential. And then we'll plop down the Willie and there we go, right next to a medical clinic. and Josiah's elementary school will be. Let me just make sure I'm spelling this right. The Willie and Nessa Dog Park. Don't worry, Kristen, I got you covered. Yes. NES. Yep, cool. Got that. Alright, wonderful. So, yep, park. That park will also make these people a lot happier. Yeah, you can already see it's starting to color these houses. We'll plop down more of those as we go along here. But for now, what I want to do is under our landscaping tool. It's not going to be a problem yet, but this is basically what killed the very first city I had, is eventually this highway, or this street, it's not even a highway yet. So first thing, let's actually can I upgrade this yet? Not yet, not until I get to 2,800 people. I want to upgrade this road to support more cars and faster traffic, but for now, like, eventually what killed my first city, it took until we had 50,000 people, but the traffic along this roundabout, when there was just so much happening here, it'll eventually get so clogged that it will kill your industry and your commercial, because people, goods, and other things can just no longer get into your city. So one way that you can actually alleviate that, and we'll start doing this early because it'll just be very nice to look at, is Houston Park. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make this be a much more walk-friendly city. So people from these residential zones, they go to this industrial zone to work, or they possibly go to this commercial zone to work. Yeah, I could also add more entries and exits to the highway, which is also an option, but for now, what we're going to do, just because it'll also be a lot more, I guess, environmental to do, is... So, what I was saying is people from these residential zones, they'll work or shop in this commercial area, and they'll work in this industrial area, and they'll take their cars to do so, which eventually will contribute to a lot of traffic and congestion along this. So we're going to make this whole area be a lot more walkable by going into landscaping and putting down these walking paths. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect our residential zone to our industrial zone, and we're going to have to displace a few businesses along the way, but it'll be worth it in the end. A few homes and businesses. So I'm going to lay down some of these paths here. So I want this to be symmetrical. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll raise it up. And we'll do another one on the opposite side. 1, 2, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and raise that up. And we'll follow that on the other side here. So we'll have to displace this business in this factory, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. Try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't really need to be symmetrical like this, but I just like how it'll look. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And I'll connect that. Yep. Make that go right into our roundabout there. Make you also go into the roundabout. Connect. Do the same with this side. And this should be perfectly lined up so that now we have this lovely little symmetrical walking path that is now connecting our industrial zone to our residential zone. So if I actually let time go, I think if I did this properly, we should already see people start to use this as they commute to and from work, because right now they have to cross this roundabout, which is very not ideal for them. Let's go ahead and actually speed time up. So I think if this is done right, yeah, we'll see people start to actually use this. And so every single person that you see walking along this path, that is one less car on the road, which can make a big difference in just reducing the overall traffic in your city, which, in addition to being more environmental, just, you know, also has the benefit of reducing your traffic and as well as your environmental footprint, actually. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of just make that be like a similar length path, and then just make this go all the way here, connect it to the sidewalk there. So now you got this nice little path along the back of this residential zone, and we'll kind of link it to the road as well. Again, we'll have to displace some houses to do it, but that's alright, because it'll, again, make things very nice. So now, yeah, so everybody who lives in here can now kind of use this sort of back path here to instead get to this walkway, which they can then use to get to work. So we're going to keep expanding this out here, and that's why I left these sort of dead zones in the middle here, because then I don't have to displace houses when I'm actually doing this. So, 1, 2, 3... hang on, Roger, I'll answer that question. 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What that should do. Put that there. So this is a walking path, but I think you'll be able to see that there will be people who will use their bikes on it anyway. Yeah, see, so it's really both, so it'll facilitate both. Yeah, actually, because this is an industrial zone, so using a path that has trees, those will die, and those won't really look that great. But let's just let things keep running. Let's zone out some more or residential. Keep things going that way, and then keep things going this way while I mess around with setting these walking paths. Which, like, let's just see. Yeah, they're getting a fair amount of use actually. And again, those are less cars on the road now. We can see here that it's actually just our garbage trucks and anybody coming in from the highway to our industrial zone now, because a lot of people are just choosing to walk to work or bike. So that is great to see. That means that's a nice evidence that the path system that we're making is working already. So get some more residential in here so that we can keep things growing towards our next milestone while we keep expanding things out. We can also plop down a high school, actually. So let's see, we got the elementary school there. We'll plop a high school a bit more down the road. Don't want it there, actually. Where would be a good place for this? Right between the fire station and the police department? Maybe not, that'll be a bit noisy for a high school. Do I want to just displace houses to put a high school down? Okay, it's not ideal, but we'll put it there. Have our high school right next to a fire department, why not? I'm sure it'll have enough sound insulation that won't be too much of an issue. And that'll make people happy, just having it there. Get some more residential moving in. Alright, let's see. Let's get back to putting down those paths. It doesn't really matter which of these paths I choose, like park path versus amusement park path. I like the amusement park path because it has this nice brick look to it, and it's easier to discern from the road. When you're just looking at it from above, you can tell pretty quickly what is a walking path and what isn't. So now, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to expand this, connect it to our commercial zone, and actually I'm going to do something that will be quite nice looking. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll connect you like that. And then what I'm actually going to do is we're going to go across that way. Oh, actually. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. So now we also have a walking path that is connecting our residential zone to our commercial zone, and even going over this avenue here, which will be much more preferable to for people to walk. And we can actually do a few of those going down along this avenue, just to really make this be as walkable of a city as we can. So kind of go like roughly in the middle here, and just also expand this out towards the sidewalk. Keep you moving. Line you up. You. So yeah, there we go. Our commercial zone is now connected to the residential zone via this nice little elevated walkway. And they're getting a fair amount of use as well. Yeah, we'll connect that out. So yeah, then you kind of get like this nice little green space in the middle where people can play frisbee or whatever it is they do. And it's also right next to our dog park. Lovely. I can actually kind of connect that if I wanted to. There we go. Okay, we'll do another one of the elevated ones. Here, let's just kind of... Well, that won't really be necessary because you have the sidewalk. Sometimes I can connect paths properly if I turn snapping off. Well, I mean, it looks like that's connected. I think it is, at least. Willie is watching, and Nessa is here too, and they say thank you for the dog park. You're very welcome. It was very lovely to put that down. And they get a nice little walking path that's behind them as well, which is getting a lot of use, I must say. Alright, let's, before I get too carried away here though. And this one here that services the residential zone is fine. More or less the residential zones should be pretty walkable because they have sidewalks, and it's like the grid system is small enough that there's crosswalks where people can cross over. The traffic here won't be too bad, so I don't really need to worry about putting path around this area, I don't think. Because people should be able to get their way to these paths fairly easily. What happened here? What happened to you? Why's your street all busted? Whatever. Maybe you just choose to live like that. Anyway, how's our park coverage? We can put down another small playground somewhere. Well, let's keep our paths going first. Actually, we need to keep meeting the residential demand. That'll be cool. Pretty costly. Make that all be commercial. That should more or less take care of that demand. Make another square rectangle of residential. Get those in. And don't want that. Don't want that because we're going to keep the road going. We don't want to have to evict someone just to do it. Make sure that you have water coverage. Just about, but we should keep that going. 440 is the number that you usually want to go for here. Oh my goodness. There we go. Alright, money's looking good. Walking paths, very populated. Very nice. Let's keep those going. Which I said I was going to do. So... Yep, so we had that nice space between the high school and the police station here, which we can now use to connect our walking path. And then we don't really need to cross it over that street, I don't think. But what we can do is we'll have to displace another business, but we can then get that going. Did I get rid of the ice cream place in order to do this? I may have. Oh no, I hope Christian isn't still watching, because his milkshake place may have been destroyed to make path for people to walk. That's unfortunate. I just realized that now. Don't tell him if he's still watching. Or if he's not watching, don't tell him. Because the last thing that guy will want to know is that his business was destroyed to make path for people to walk. He'll hate that. Very lovely. Ooh, and you know what I actually could do is I can also connect these going this way. Just to really make it so that you can get anywhere you want to just by walking. What a great city! I would think I'm dreaming if I didn't know anywhere. Dexter, you know what's going on. Which is also usually the theme of that show, is it not? Money is looking good. We are more or less keeping up with the demand that people have. There actually is a bit more of demand for jobs, so we'll go ahead and zone both sides of the Bula dump to let some more factories and whatnot move in. We'll let them occupy more or less this entire strip, actually. And then let's just keep on, yeah. Do I want, if I want to, I guess I could also, we can also go ahead and just do that. There you go. You can really get anywhere you want to through this main walkway. Who needs cars when you can just when you can just walk everywhere you need to get to? I must say, I find that to be very visually pleasing to look at. It's this nice elevated walkway to service the entirety of the city, of the Pillow Fort. And actually, we can kind of expand you to the other side of the road, and you as well. We'll displace businesses to do so, but more ones will move in the zone that's remaining, so it's not a total loss. We don't need that. I like this. This is like a nice little square that you have going on here.
Grazing off the lush vegetation of the time.
Keep going.
Their mere existence transformed the landscape and made a lasting impact on our world. It's that legacy that Dino Oil is proud to continue by using their eons-old dead bone goop to fuel your 5-door wagon, making it the oldest form of recycling there is. Dino Oil. Embrace the power of bones.
Tornado's now a distant memory. Thank you for reminding me that a tornado destroyed our town, and I'm going to drop a save just in case I need to re-roll things if another one just decides to just kill us all. Ooh, we can pop down a small playground. Small playground. I don't know. We have dog park. Let's pop down another park, but let's just small park. No, that's definitely not. That's anything but small.
Oh, I guess I'll be fine. As long
Park
as
with
the
trees.
name Brad
Nah.
doesn't suddenly show up.
Magica theme park. We don't have that kind of money.
How Brad is
Japanese
always
garden.
my luck.
That'd be tranquil.
It's always
Dog park.
Brad.
Have one of those already.
Help me. And
Yeah,
like,
small playground.
never knows.
Just
Maybe
right there, right next to the pathway we have, right behind the police station.
Guess we'll never know.
People are happy about that. How's our park up? We can actually do with one down here as well. Dog park. Small park. Large playground. No. Alright, don't really have the money for it. And I don't really like the idea of a park being right off the highway. Put down a carousel park or a bouncy castle. Alright, yep, our walkways are seeing a good amount of use. You can really get anywhere you want to in the city just by walking. And you know, when we get into being able to set up public transit and whatnot, then we'll really be able to get a lot of people, or reduce the amount of people that we have driving. Keep an eye on the budget here. So every other street we should go ahead and connect here, just to, so that the traffic we do have can still get to where they need to go. But yes, this place is really starting to take on a identity of its own beyond just being an endless grid of suburban sprawl. Water production's looking good. Electricity is still looking good. Disaster response, we're gonna want eventually. The single police station we have is kind of approaching its jail capacity, which is going to be an issue. And our fire department, yeah, the industrial sector could really do with having its own fire department soon, so once I get the money, I'll probably try and put that down. But for now, we'll just let things keep growing. And let people keep moving in to keep us going towards our next population milestone. Because every population milestone gives you a injection of money that you can then use to kickstart your next round of growth. Keep the paths going. Yep, thanks for popping in, Mia. Hope you enjoyed. Alright, Pillow Fort is looking quite nice if I do say so myself. Industrial demand is continuing to grow, so let's square out some more of the grid. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Unfortunate, but gonna have to displace some factories to connect that. What's our next milestone? 2,800 people, which will also let me do some more disaster preparedness and response, which we're probably gonna want after the way that tornado came very close to just ending this run. Also, probably 17 minutes, and then at 8 o'clock I'll take a bit of a screen break, because we have been going for almost 2 hours now. Alright. Just Residential demand just keeps growing. People just really want to move in here. So actually what we're going to do now is we're going to make this be... We're actually going to square that off, because our commercial zone can kind of keep expanding out this way, whereas residential can really occupy this entire set of quadrants. So we'll make those go ahead and just be... We'll make that just all just be residential, actually. Alright. So healthcare is looking pretty good. Our one clinic is pretty sufficiently able to cover everything. Education is actually... elementary school education is almost at its capacity. We have... our one school can have 300 students, and it has... And we have 256 who are eligible right now, so we may want to plop another elementary school down soon. High school, that'll be good for a while. Library, we don't really need to worry about just yet. Yeah, next thing I want to plop down probably will be a fire department to service the industrial area, because a fire breaking out here could shut down a lot of our economy. You know what, let's take another walk. Let's plop someone down. Yeah, let's say I live here. And let's just see what my... Let's just... Don't mind me, I'm just walking to work, everybody. I'm just going on my daily commute to my factory job. Oh, yeah, watch your way, young one. Just another citizen of the Pillow Fort on my way to work. Oh, look at that, a little boy walking his dog. Just going to take the nice elevated walkway that the mayor made for us and make my way to my job. Hey, whoa, watch where you're going. Darn bicyclist. Yes, this is quite scenic. So let's see, I could go that way to get to my factory job, or I could head all the way this way to head into our commercial zone. Almost get hit by another bicyclist, but it's fine. I'm kind of hoping that somebody just pops into the stream right now and just sees me doing this and has no idea what this game is about. And all you see is this. Very lovely town we live in. Wouldn't you agree? Yes, green light. I have the right of way. Oh my goodness. What was that? I'm watching on my other screen because I want to see that happen again. I just got a message that one of my friends had stopped watching for a few minutes and just comes back to what you're seeing now. I'm just observing what the commute looks like if you are choosing to walk everywhere. Maybe I shall go harass some of the local high schoolers. Because that's my job after all. Yeah, wow, this is a very dog-friendly high school. I love it. Yeah. Hello, how do you do, fellow kids? And dog? We got some skateboarding hooligans. I have to get out of this town. Okay, that's enough of that. Hey, I have enough money to plop down that fire department now. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, right there is fine. There we go. Now our entire industrial zone has fire station coverage. So if a fire breaks out here, things should be pretty alright. Something smells fishy. I don't know what to tell you, lady. But we are having more demand for workers, which means we need to keep our residential zone going. Oops, did not quite make that the length it should have been. There we go. Get some more residential moving in here. Keep that main avenue going. And things are looking good here. What we do is plopping down another park somewhere. Small playground, small park. Can I plop? Is there anywhere I can fit this? That would unfortunately destroy our path. I could displace a couple houses to do that, but that's too close to the existing park already. Yeah, not quite. Not necessary then. Gotta make sure I keep up with the water coverage. Let's go ahead and expand all the way to the edge of the map, actually. For the play space that we have. Make sure we get that 90 degrees. Destroy some homes for the park. Oh, I could, Nick, but it's not really necessary to do. One of my favorite songs that this radio station plays as well. Yeah, the Empire State Philharmonic's View at the Top. It's a very catchy tune. Dang it. If you lost your wallet or found a black leather wallet, send a PM to get it back. What a kind soul you are, Sophie.
You're tuned in to Coast to Coast. I'm Tony G. And if you're looking for the smoothest sounds in town, this is where it's at. Stick around.
You know what? We could do a change in the radio station, I think. We've been listening to Coast this entire time. I'm gonna listen to what my favorite station in this game is. That is the Campus Radio. Get some nice punk rock or pop rock playing in here. Punk rock, you know. Punk pop, actually. It's usually more what's like. Which is not to be confused with my dog. Although he is a punk. Hate that guy. Yeah, I would agree. I like the, and because if I use the park path, like, there is no real difference between the red path, what's actually called amusement park path and the park path I'm using, but my problem that I found with park path, if I put it down, it looks too much like the road. And so a lot of times I'll just plop that down, but I'll actually mistake it for the road, especially if I'm doing a top-down view. So we'll get rid of that now. That was just meant to explain or demonstrate. Yeah, give me that Campus Radio, angsty college radio station pop. That brings me back to my college radio days. If Soren and Megan are still watching, they'll agree. It was like this 24/7. When you were listening to WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago, broadcast live from the A. Sidney Katz radio studio at the Illinois Institute of Technology. That is still in my heart to this day. Unlike WIIT. What a piece of junk. Fire safety is looking good. We'll probably want to keep some more services down this way. But for now, things are looking alright. Yes, says Soren. I don't... That's in response to what? Or how the campus radio station in this game reminds us of WIIT? Yeah. At least it wasn't in response to me saying, what a piece of junk. Grid is not perfect, but it's getting the coverage we need, which is what matters the most. You actually do want a bit of redundancy in your water coverage just in case some horrible disaster happens, but that's why I'm kind of been doing that as we go along. Water and sewage treatment are they're over their halfway point of capacity, which will still carry us for a long time, so we should be good. Alright, let's just keep following the demand curves then to give our people what they want. They want more residential, so we'll keep all this moving. Again, I'm keeping those middle areas open just in case, because eventually we may expand into this area. And so we'd want to be able to keep these roads open without having to displace anybody. Also, Nick, since I know that you're now watching, if you want anything named after you, just let me know. What do you think, buddy? I don't have a name for this red panda yet. If you have a name for my red panda friend, can you please drop it in the chat because I need an idea. Yeah, with this dog park here, this is very good. Like the, Kristen, the Willie and Nessa dog park is possibly my favorite part of the city. This is just like a very scenic area when you have the path here and everything else going on. It's very nice. And then you have Payne Elementary School. I like this part. This is probably my favorite little stretch that we have. Can you name that giraffe that escaped after me? Nick, I don't think you understand. I was that. Chester, the red panda. Chester, I like that. Thank you, Rajan. We'll go with Chester. Nick, I don't think you understand. That giraffe was me, Nick. If I go into like our walk view and I just choose to plop myself down, I am that giraffe. So you can't be the giraffe, because I am, Nick. You can be an antelope, or a big cat, or a lady with a nice hat, old man, tourist. Give me this bird. Oh no, oh no, he says. Yeah, anyways. Before I get too carried away with that again. Alright, so demand's looking good. Things are looking nice here. Our walking paths are getting quite a bit of use, and is helping to alleviate a lot of our traffic. Let's just see, go into info views, and let's see what our traffic situation looks like. Our average traffic flow is 94%, which is very good. Like, I'm not even sure if 100% traffic flow is possible. And yeah, a lot of our traffic does occur along this central roundabout, which is to be expected, but looking at it right now, there's hardly a car on it. Look at the occasional people, because a lot of our citizens are walking to and from work and to do their shopping. So that's so many cars that just aren't on the road. Which is helping to reduce, that'll help reduce noise population, that'll help, yeah, that'll help with noise population, with pollution. Noise pollution and ground pollution will be heavily reduced by the amount of cars that we just don't have on the road. I'm gonna have to actually unzone this because I'll expand this road eventually. Just zoning some more commercial to help meet that demand.
Say cheese, it's cheese week at Big Bite Burgers and Fries.
Whoa, it's cheese week at Big Bite Burgers. I gotta go. Sorry everybody, stream's over. Can't quite put another park here. We put a botanical garden, that'd be quite nice.
So hurry in and get them while they last. After all, why take a
Hey, you can't even tell that a tornado tore through this area anymore. Which reminds me I should save this game. I'm actually going to take a bit of a screen break for a moment here. I'll be back in 5, just because I've been going for 5 hours. Going to stretch my legs for a bit, so while I'm doing that, enjoy talking to Gunther here, and Chester, who have now been renamed. I'll be right back. Okay, good job, Gunther. You really held the fort while I was away. You and Chester, very nicely done. Let's get back into this for about another hour, and then that'll be probably a nice time to call it because I do have to work Promise in the morning. All right, buddy.
The noodle master.
So, yeah, let's just...
No matter what stage of
Nothing
life
too
you're
dramatic
in,
for now.
we
Just
have
gonna
the
keep
perfect
following the
meals for
demands
you.
of
From birthday
residents,
noodles
zoning
to
out some
wedding
more
noodles, all the way to
industrial
those
for them to
most
work, and then
valuable
we'll head up to our
foods.
residential and keep that going pretty much to
Every
the...
occasion has a noodle like yakisoba, so experience something different. Yakisoba. It literally means fried noodles.
Yakisoba literally means fried noodles.
We had the age of die-hard supporters of the status quo. Then we had the age of punk rebellion against authority. But nowadays, rebellion is boring. Being
Oh, good,
punk
there we go.
isn't punk anymore.
Being punk isn't punk anymore. You hear that?
To do besides conform. Think about it. In today's political climate, conformity is the ultimate form of social rebellion. So let's all band together and show the powers that be who really supports them.
I'm gonna put this small park somewhere, but I'm not sure I'll really be able to without having to get rid of houses or redo my road grid structure. So maybe not. Maybe we'll just put another large playground somewhere here. Oh, I like that. Okay, some... Ah, no. Alright, I thought ahead and already gave this all water. This is also one of my favorite songs. Oh, hey, we got to Boomtown at 2,800 people. We can set up public transit and buses. We can specialize some of our industry. We can be... Oh, I haven't even looked at the policies yet. We need to do that, actually. So, let's get into that right now, actually. New roads and whatnot. Cool. So, policies. You can also set various policies for your city that will affect things like how areas are used, the tax revenue, etc. So, a few of these that I want to go into right now is that we are not setting up a pet ban because we have a dog park and that would be horrible. We're going to go ahead and incentivize recycling. So, this will make recycling a big part of environmental sustainability, keep neighborhoods looking tidy. A small investment in recycling technologies and waste containers will reduce garbage accumulation and slightly reduce tax income, so we'll get less money, but that'll be worth it just because it's more green and it'll reduce our garbage income so we won't have to make another landfill as quickly. Smoking ban, we'll actually leave, we won't touch that one for now. Recreational, smoke detector distribution, that's the other big one. Significantly reduce the risk of fire for 5 cents, for $5 per building. That's definitely one that we're going to want. For now, I don't really think... Free Wi-Fi, we could do that. For now, those will be the two policies that we'll set up. Yeah. But yeah, basically you can set various policies for your city, which will sort of... They'll have trade-offs, obviously. Recycle plastic. Make your recycling centers 20% more efficient. That's actually pretty nice. For only $100 per recycling center per week. We'll throw that on too. So yeah, we'll throw in those policies just to get things... Just to, yeah. They're worth the trade-offs, is what I'm trying to say here. Very nice. The industrial zone could do with some upgrading, like just expanding, I mean. because the demand for that is growing pretty substantially. Actually, wait, at 2800, I think that also unlocked highways. So we can upgrade some of our highways to reduce their noise pollution bubbles. Go ahead and zone all that as industrial so we get more factories and jobs moving in. Check the water coverage, looking good. So we're going to roads. Yep, we've unlocked highways. Well done, Nick. Oh no, I don't have the sound barrier highways yet. But we can still at least make... I'm gonna go ahead and actually upgrade... No, we don't want that actually. 2-lane highways. We're gonna actually upgrade the roundabout to now actually be highway instead, which will help speed up the traffic that is going along it. Yes. Yeah, that'll be good for now. Another thing actually I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to take a closer look at all of the intersections in our city, because we have this roundabout that leads off the highway, which then circulates traffic to 3 areas, basically residential, commercial, and industrial. And then those areas have these major avenues that have 2 ways with a median in the middle. And I basically want to keep my traffic along these avenues as open as possible. And right now they have these stoplights at every intersection that are going to slow things down. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to manually remove those stoplights and instead just put stop signs on both sides wherever they lead into their smaller roads. So I'm not really going too much into it, but like this is kind of, we're preserving the concept of road hierarchy and keeping like these larger roads as open as possible to keep our city, like the what traffic we do have, which our walkways reduce a lot, we want it to be moving as quickly as possible so nothing gets backed up. So we're going to be making these intersections instead only have stop signs on their where they connect to the smaller roads so that the main avenue can still be moving as quickly as possible. What are we listening to now? River Twins, everyone else. Very nice. Again, I quite enjoy listening to the campus radio in this game. Definitely getting some Blink-182 vibes right now. Drop a save in case a horrible disaster destroys us again, or attempts to. Actually, wait, I can. Yeah, now that we reach 2800, we can plop down our disaster response unit and our emergency shelters. Yes, yeah, Blink-182 vibes, definitely, Josiah. That's actually what I was saying. Also, Josiah, now that you're here, we can actually show you that somebody was it Ben who suggested? Somebody suggested that we name the elementary school after you, so we have Payne Elementary School in your honor, right next to a dog park that's dedicated to Kristen's dogs, Willie and Nessa. So there you go, Josiah. You have your own school now, elementary school, for all the little kids. Ignore the police that just drove past it. We have a high school here. It was Ben. Ben suggested that we name the elementary school after you, Josiah. So there you go. We have a high school. I guess I gotta do the... Should we do... IMSA 2. There you go. There's IMSA 2. Right next to a fire... Right next to Ben's... To the Ben Leapak firehouse. Very nice. Anyway, what I was doing, disaster response. Yeah, let's So let's see what we have to work with here. So we can set up a disaster response unit who will send out helicopters and trucks to clear rubble and rescue survivors, handle disaster aftermath and burn down buildings. Okay, so yeah, because earlier we had those husks of destroyed buildings when the tornado rolled through. So we'll go ahead and put that down. Right, we'll put that down in our industrial area here. Although, maybe I should put it somewhere more central, actually. Yeah, we'll put it... We're going to displace a number of businesses doing this, but I'm going to want this to be somewhere more central. So that it can start wherever a disaster may strike, we'll be able to have that service it. Disaster Response Unit. If that's not the RC job, then I don't know what is. And then emergency shelters. So let's see what this... A small shelter to allow your citizens to be safe from disasters. Limited amount of space for citizens, but you can choose which areas to use which shelter by planning escape routes. After the disaster, citizens can live in the shelter until they find new housing in the city. Shelters are almost indestructible. Interesting that they say almost there. So we can plop... Let's plop one in, like, each area. We want them to be relatively easy to get to. Yeah, we'll just put that right there. Yeah, that is a bit concerning that it says almost. You're right, Rotten. Not enough money. Oh, those are expensive. Jeez. You missed a horrible tornado destroying our industrial zone earlier, Quinn. Which is why I'm putting some disaster services now. So, disaster response unit, you know what? Full strength tornado. Yeah, 9.9 tornado. Almost destroyed. It just missed our city. So that's why now we have the IMSA RCs, or the disaster response unit, to help us deal with that if that ever happens again. Alright, let's just let things keep building. Get us some more money. Yeah, it's because when I made this city for the sake of entertainment, I set the disaster frequency to its maximum. Is that in the options, actually? I don't know if it is. Yeah, and a random disaster frequency is as high as it can go right now, so that's fun. We also had some very insensitive citizens in our city. Right after that tornado came through and destroyed almost anything, somebody was immediately tweeting how they wanted to go for a picnic. Unironically. I wonder, how do the water towers work? We don't have any, Cedric. Glendale Social Club. Crossfire. Interesting name. If I wanted to, we could also set up a bus depot and start planning out bus routes in our city, but that'll be quite money investment. Oh, we have a fire at the Willow residence, but hey, emergency response is already on it. They'll put that out. No deal. Or no big deal. It did spread to the house next door, though. So hopefully they will also do something about that. The Coleridge residence is also on fire. There we go. We got another fire truck just to deal with that. Very nice. Houses are moving in here. Rajan, you've been watching since the beginning. Do you want something named after you? Because you have been here for this entire time. I'll take off for a screen break, but I'll be back. Alright, you take care, buddy. Appreciate you sticking around this long. Hope you're enjoying yourself. That's not what I wanted. Ah, forget it. We don't need it. It's also not necessary. Yeah, for the most part, the residential area is walkable enough because you have so many different crosswalks because of the pretty small grid that it was built on, so that should be good. Commercial zone is looking quite nice. This is a very nice place to be. Let's go ahead and, you know what, let's take another look. Let's take another closer look. Let's plop down the mayor here. And let's just go for a nice little walk in the city, let the time run. And let's just see how things are going among my people. How do you all do, my fine citizens? It's a lovely day here in Pillow Fort, is it not? I'm just going to go visit the little local playground and see how things are getting along here. I don't know what you're all doing, but keep at it. Little boy with his dog. Ah, our boys in blue. Off to do their work. Hopefully without violence. How's the local high school doing? How do you do, fellow kids? I have too much fun with this. I really do. Fire department's also looking good. You're on your break, I see. I'm not explaining anything to you, Quinn. This is just the game, alright? Payne Elementary is also looking quite nice. This is just, the mayor is just walking the streets of his town just to see what's going on with his people. How's our dog park doing? Doesn't really have anybody in it, but we can just assume that it's being used. Medical clinic is also looking nice. I wish this giraffe could move faster. I mean, I wish the mayor walked faster. Ah! I hate that. Okay, enough of that. Time high whispers. Nice. Zone this out as residential. Yes, Josiah, the mayor of this town is a giraffe. It was a long and hard-fought political battle, but he's finally receiving the recognition he deserves. Can I even make another road going this way? No, that'll cut into our disaster response unit. That's gonna bother me. I'm gonna actually move this. The IMSA RCs, we're gonna move you one. So right now you are there. I'm gonna move you one block over. Myra says hello. Oh no, somebody's dead. A dead person is waiting, so that means what we need to do is we need to put down our first cemetery, once we have the money to do so. Is it morbid to put that right next to the disaster response unit? Maybe. Yeah, we can put it over here near the end of the residential area. Once we have the money to do so, we'll need to plop down our first cemetery. You down, and you as well, and connect you. Alright, cool. So yeah, let's just let time run, get our money. Can I take out another loan yet, actually? I could take out another $20,000 loan, and we have enough green in our budget to be able to sustain that, but we'll wait it out. Got a fire over here. Alright, firefighters are already on the way. The Elk residence caught fire. Quite nice that their backyard is the playground, though. What's going on here? Nobody wants to live on this side, apparently. How's water coverage? Yep, we got this whole area covered. We are getting pretty close to our water production limit, so I'm gonna have to plop down a second production plant pumping station pretty soon. It's better near the disaster center than a park for a cemetery. I guess you're right, Ben. We'll plop that down soon. We'll actually put another water pumping station to get our water availability back all the way up into the green. Yep, that'll be good for a while, and then we'll plop down another sewage pump. Connect that. And get that on the grid, so our sewage pumping is also going to be more than adequate. That should jump up in just about a second here, once that gets on. There you go. And we'll see that. Yep, there we go. Water coverage is good. I'm gonna take out that loan now, just so we can afford and plop down that cemetery. We'll put, yeah, and we will put that right behind our disaster response unit. There you go. And so that cemetery will now will send out a hearse, which is gonna go pick up that dead person. They'll have a funeral, and they will be the first person in our cemetery. What are we listening to? Glendale Social Club, long story short. I dig it. Get some crossroads here so that we can make all this. And we'll keep our residential zone moving. Or expanding out. Let's make sure that you all have water coverage. You do not, actually. Pipe going down this way. And we'll do another. We'll just future-proof and do another one. It's a very satisfying sound. Got a bit of a water dead zone there. Hopefully cover it. Alright. And you know what, why not? Alright. Very nice. We've actually already unlocked inland water treatment. Eco inland water treatment. Hey Nick, are you watching right now? Cause Nick, if you're watching right now, you're an inland water treatment plant, but I'm an eco advanced inland water treatment plant, you know what I'm saying? Take that, punk. Plastic, hashtag pollution is getting worse. We must save the earth. Yeah, once I have the money, we'll plop down another recycling plant. It's good to listen to what your people want when it comes to those kinds of tweets. So we will plop down another recycling plant as soon as I have the money to do so. Give me a break. Come on, man. Give me a break. I will not, sir.
Bring it in. Got a fish that's been sitting in the sun for a few days? Bring it in. We'll throw it in with the rest of them. What we do with the fish is nobody's business but ours. Just enjoy your salmon $8.99 with our famous stew.
Get some more industrial zone in there. Alright, so we are at 3,500 plus people. Our next milestone is what? 5,500, so it'll be a while before we get there, actually.
Owner of Tony Magona's Steakhouse. And when people ask me where I get my award-winning meat from, it's from one place.
Ooh, power is not looking good. We need to... we are running close to our capacity. We're producing 88 megawatts, but we're consuming 76. So pretty soon, with more buildings coming in, our electricity grid will no longer be able to sustain it. So we'll need to buffer that with... What I'll probably do is I'll place some advanced wind turbines in the water here, and then we'll actually loop that into our grid so we can get some green energy in the city. So we'll actually go ahead and connect that now. And so that one wind turbine will also kind of add to our existing grid.
And you're looking forward to your sprouted grain.
Not by, it won't add much,
Open
but
the
it'll
bag
help.
and they forgot your lemonade.
Yeah, it
Not
bumped us
mad
up by
at a
1.
plane or anything, but it really
So
messed up your
we're gonna need
lunch.
some money to
Still
plop down some
thinking
more
about the grid
turbines here to
hours later when it's
bolster
not
our
there.
electric grid.
A lot of you might not understand that kind of hardship, but I do. And you can tell this next band does too.
I really enjoy the angsty college radio DJ. Guess I haven't really kept up with our walkways here, but I think what the walkable infrastructure we have now should be able to sustain our entire commercial zone. It'll just be a matter of continuing going along this way, yeah. Ice cream parlor, right next to the disaster response unit and across the street from the cemetery. You can bury grandma and then have a nice ice cream and burger. Alright, so yeah, biggest thing on my mind right now is we need to up our electricity production because eventually we're going to start we'll start reaching the capacity and power will start going out for certain people. They'll experience brownouts, which they will not appreciate. If it keeps up long enough, they'll actually move out. Hey, we got a fire at the Beechwood residence. Is someone going to do something about that? There you go. Here comes the fire trucks. Hopefully they get here before it spreads. So luckily our fire coverage is pretty good. Charles Smithson. You related to Charles Smith from Red Dead Redemption 2? Because he's a cool guy. Let's drop a save. In case a horrible disaster happens. I don't want to zone more houses yet because I want to get our electricity situation taken care of. Because if we zone more houses, that's more people consuming electricity, which means that'll push us closer to running to the limits of our city's existing grid, which we don't really want happening. So we just gotta keep earning some money here until eventually I can add one of these advanced wind turbines into the water here, which will be good for which will help our grid out. So it's just kind of a waiting game for now. And holding off on zoning anything until we get that taken care of. You know, maybe while we're waiting, we can take it. Let the mayor take another walk around the city. Can I Goomba stomp this guy? Yeah, take that. Sorry, I'm far too busy to talk to you all citizens right now. I am the mayor, after all. Gonna cut through here. That is quite the car you have. Is this yours? It's quite something, ma'am. Nice ice. I could go in here for a nice ice cream at the O'Reilly's bookstore. Ah, Morello's. That's probably your giant ice cream. Just walk the streets of my city with some nice punk rock playing. Very nice. Stop by the high school again. Things are happening here, I tell you what. This is such a nice place to live, isn't it? Okay, do we have enough money yet? No, we don't. We still don't have enough money. Oh wait, no we do. 12,000. We're good. So let's plop one of those down. Let's try and 19 megawatts, 20. Oh, we got 20. 20. I can probably try and find one, Nick. Once I want that 20 megawatts. Come on. Alright, that should now get our energy back comfortably. Well, maybe not too comfortably, but we're in the green for now. Honestly, probably soon. We may just want to put another coal power plant down, which is not ideal, but because the green energy just really won't be sufficient at getting us where we want to be in our grid. Nick's spaghetti. Let's see what we can find, Nick. Yakisoba. That's Japanese noodles. Vapor Vibes. They got a vape shop. A dollar store. A pharmacy. That is a very old, very rustic. What is this? Dandy's. Organic. Cram burger. Oh, these are people's houses now. Yeah, Nick, I don't know if there's an Italian restaurant that I can name after you. Sorry about that, buddy. Ooh, people are getting mad that they don't have... Factories are getting mad they don't have enough workers. We need to get our residential expanded and hope that the power grid can sustain this many more houses appearing. Go ahead and actually pop all of you down. Yeah, I don't like how close the power is to, I heard that if you do not recycle, your plastic penguins will die. Oh goodness, don't say that. Gunther does not want to be hearing that kind of negativity right now. Not really, Rajan, just a lot more natural growth. Yeah, we're just expanding out. We're running into issues with our electric grid, where we're running close to running, or like, to its limit, so I may have to plop another coal plant down soon, which is not great, because it's more pollution and dirty energy going into the system, but may just be what we need. And I'm not sure if you were here for this, but we're listening to college, or campus radio now, because it takes me back to my good old days of working for college radio. I say work as if it was a job. They certainly did not pay. Soren, where's my money from working for WIIT? I want that WIIT money. I think I'm gonna, like, if I remember, I need to put another elementary school down. To put it, like, up here. Once I have the money. It's just a matter of waiting until we just naturally gain the money we need. Yeah, we need another school up in this area. Actually, I like the idea. We'll display some houses, but we'll put that next to the park, actually, because I like that idea. Let's slap down another school. Have that be... Look at that. Its own playground even bleeds into the other one. That's lovely. So all of these houses should start to... Their colors will change as their kids go to the school. Getting more industrial demand. We'll go ahead and... Save. But yeah, otherwise not really, Rajan. We zoned a lot more areas, so that's gonna start stretching our power grid more. So yeah, once we have the money, we'll want to plop down another coal plant. Maybe if we had the population at 12,000, we could mess around with trying to set up a hydroelectric dam on this very slow-flowing river, but that probably won't go well. 50,000 for ocean thermal energy. 480 megawatts though. That's quite something.
Is proud to continue by using their eons-old dead bone goop to fuel your 5-door wagon, making it the oldest form of recycling there is. Dino Oil. Embrace the power of bones.
Cut off that fool on your right. This is your time to merge. Get yourself a police scanner and express your rage through your morning commute. This is Campus Radio, and I'm Claudia Couture.
Oh, Claudia Couture, you're great. I would get involved with if I went to that college. I would get involved with the campus radio station just so I could get to know her more. Imagine being a fool who gets involved with college radio just because of somebody in it, though. That'd be stupid. Again, I'm trying to hold off on growing too... Yeah, imagine that. Yeah. Uh-oh, Nick, wait, hang on, Nick, I missed this. A monkey escaped from your zoo. Yeah, you might want to do something about that, buddy. Buddy, that sounds like a you problem. Once again, getting some... The Wilsons, will you ever be the same? Once again, getting some Blink-182 vibes here. Say it ain't so, I will not go. Turn the lights off, carry me home. That's all you're getting out of me. It's alright, I put it in a Buddy, what? Okay, we just put all this commercial zone. Which I know I said that I wanted to hold off on doing too much expansion until we can fix the power grid problem. But they got water, at least. And I want to put another one of these pipes going this way, actually. Is that 98 degrees? Good enough. Don't worry about it. Whatever you say, buddy. I'm just building a city and I don't have enough money. I need another loan. Which I don't think we can get yet because we're still paying off 2 other loans. Oh, goodness. We just gotta wait. Actually, I might have to... I'm gonna displace some buildings to do this, but let's keep our... Again, we want to keep this place as walkable as we can make it. So, we'll do that. Just so anybody can walk here, and then we can use this to actually get to this whole stretch. Yeah, I could have been doing a better job at keeping up with the whole walkway grid, but... oh well. And this one will be easy to do because I still don't have too much happening here. That's not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted. Sorry, houses. You gotta go. Because we gotta make more walkway here. Honestly, actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this be another elevated one. So... yeah, we'll make another one of these, actually. Yeah, people are using those. Electricity is getting closer to being at its limit, which is concerning. Got a lot of residential demand. We gotta keep going this way now. More residential all along this way. We're actually gonna unzone you as well, and so keep commercial separated out along this way. Be a bit of an austerity measure, or we really won't do too much, but I might just plop down another, because they're so cheap, I might just plop another regular wind turbine over here, away from anybody, just so that we can buffer our electricity production a bit. We could do with another park, too. Walkways are all still seeing a decent amount of use, which means less traffic on the roads, which is great. I told Kristen I would put another dog park down eventually, so we should probably... I'll try and prioritize that. But let's get that second wind turbine up, just to help with our power grid. It'll help a little bit. It really won't produce too much, but yeah, plop this back up to 115. Okay, we should be good for the time being then. Now let's focus on getting another dog park down for our woofer friends. Or we could plop down the Magicka theme park, based on the popular Magicka video games. Magical World somehow produces zero noise pollution, despite being a theme park. Maybe, Josiah, you can tell me from your experience, theme parks are generally very quiet, right? Where can we plop down another dog park? Definitely somewhere to service this area. It's not a theme park, it's a respectful theme park. Oh, it is based on Magicka. What are we listening to? All-time high Teen Town. Can we afford this yet? $5,000, then we can plop down to dog park. There you go. There's another dog park. Lovely. Where all the woofers can play and have the zoomies to their life's content. Very nice little grid that we built for ourselves here. I gotta say, having a city just be on a perfect grid system like this is very aesthetically pleasing. Especially because of how walkable it is, commuter friendly. See, the roundabout is already sort of starting to pile up a bit though, even with all the efforts I've done. So, if I had the money, I would definitely look into setting up a bus system just to get even more cars off the road. I mean, if we look up traffic flow, it's still at 94%, even though we have some red zones here now, mainly the entry into our industrial zone. And yeah, the roundabout is designated as a heavy traffic area, although it is flowing, which is important to look at. It's not really too backed up. But yeah, so the efforts I've done to make things more walkable and reduce cars on the road are helping, but still, as your city continues to grow, you'll need to take more measures to keep reducing the traffic. Because otherwise, eventually, if this whole roundabout gets too backed up with cars, it'll start drowning out the industrial and commercial zones because they just can't do their business because nobody can get anywhere. So really what I'll need to do, what would be helpful is setting up a bus depot, which is quite the investment, so I can't do that yet. But setting up a bus depot and setting up routes so that, you know, instead of all these cars going to and from work, it's just a single bus will definitely help to alleviate a lot of that. My cat was just saved by a smoke detector. Thank you, fire department. Yeah, because we're giving out free smoke detectors here. Being able to put down a another emergency shelter would be great. But we don't have that kind of money yet. I'm just seeing what else we have under emergency response. Interesting. I'll have to look into those later. Anyway, we're approaching... I'll give it another 10 minutes before we call this a stream, but I'd say Pillow Fort has had a very nice growth, has off to a very nice start. We have a pretty burgeoning residential grid here. Maybe a bit boring suburban in terms of suburban sprawl, but hey, as you approach the commercial zone, you get these nice little walkways, a lot of parks, city services. The whole area is very walkable. You can do all your shopping on foot or on your bike, and you can even cross over into the industrial sector. We got a nice disaster response unit. And in our industrial sector, which is complaining about the lack of workers they're getting, so I do need to keep the residential area moving. But again, the problem is electricity production is starting to struggle to keep up with how many people we have moving in. I'll go ahead and make fuel to be some commercial in here as well. Ideally, you don't really want residential right next to commercial because commercial does produce a lot of noise pollution, but you'll have to make do. Yeah, so they're complaining that they don't have enough workers. So hopefully the people we have moving in along this stretch will start to fill in some of their job vacancies. Traffic looking alright. We are close to being able to afford... Oh, we can afford another of these advanced wind turbines. There was... Mixed zoning would be great. Like, if you could have buildings that are combined residential and commercial, which is honestly what you see in a lot of downtowns in real life, that would be quite nice. $12,000. We'll plop that down. Another advanced turbine to help with our power grid, keep us in the green. Got a fire. Got taken care of. We're gonna need another fire department up in the northern section here, actually. You can see that the coverage can't quite reach them as well as we would like it to, so probably soon. Once I can afford it, I'll plop another fire department. Probably just keep it like, yeah, keep this like central square here for your services. So you have the school, you got a park. We'll put a fire department down here instead of houses. Because yeah, like see, using service buildings to like buffer your residential from your commercial does help a lot to reduce the noise pollution. Like if this high school wasn't here, if this fire department isn't here, and this police department was here, the noise pollution bubble would be reaching a lot more into this area. Painful to look, that's painful to look at. We might need another police station soon too. Clinic as well. Yeah, we only have one clinic servicing the entire city, actually. So basically, yeah, this is just a game about just like, you know, following demand and meters for what your people need, and then just hoping that you have the money to make it happen. It's really all of it's about. So, you know, managing electricity, water, fire safety, police coverage, health, education. You think before we end, we should test disaster response. You know what, Ben? You're right. Let's drop a save. And let's just say, I mean, right now, what do we, in terms of disaster response, we have a single response unit, which only helps after a disaster strikes, and we have a single shelter, which can only hold 1,000 people. So we don't exactly have all the coverage we want. But let's just see what were to happen. Let's just... Yeah, so we dropped a save. The game is even auto-saving. If we were to just call in another tornado and just have it kind of, you know, just have this, just have that, just sweep through our whole industrial zone. Let's just see what happens.
At Banhammer Bank, we want you to trust us with your money.
Did that work?
Because it's with your money that we can make you more money. How? It's not funny business, it's money business. You give your money to us, and it will grow with interest.
Did that call in the disaster?
Maybe that's too complicated for you. Imagine planting a money tree in the ground and watering it.
I don't know if that worked.
Imagine if you had a money pet.
What happens if I just plop down another one?
And after digesting, it would... okay. You want to go money fishing, so you use...
It'll take a sec. Well, we just called in 2 of them, so let's see now.
We have even more metaphors that allow us to avoid saying what we really do with your money. Banhammer Bank. Feed the money monster.
Vault Tech cameras.
I've never really done this before, but
You've got to go big.
just call in the thunderstorm too. You know, let's just call in everything. Why not?
Our shutters the loudest. Our lenses the longest. Cameras aren't paperweights. They're tools. Tools used to create. In fact,
this?
the
Collapse.
most valuable camera is the one that you're afraid to take outside. Vault Tech. Only the best.
Well, we called in the 2 tornadoes and the thunderstorm, so I guess we just wait.
Ordered food delivery, and you're looking
Yeah,
forward
we're
to
running
the
at full
sprouted
time,
green
full speed here,
beans.
so.
Open up the bag and they forgot your lemonade. You're not mad.
Meteorologists have issued a severe tornado warning for the area. Residents should seek shelter immediately if any is available.
A lot of you might not understand that kind of hardship, but I do. And you can tell this.
Meteorologists have issued a severe tornado warning for the area. Residents should seek shelter immediately if any is available.
Hey, everybody, run!
A tornado has touched down in the area. Seek shelter immediately if any is available.
Hey, you all need to run! Hey, get in the shelter. Yeah. Well, this is gonna kill a lot of people, so let's see how this goes.
Meteorologists are issuing a thunderstorm warning for the coming days. Citizens are advised to stay indoors.
Yeah, Nick, we're ending the stream by just murdering everybody. You all need to evacuate. Oh, no, yeah, no, evacuate. Get in there. You're all gonna die if you don't get in this shelter. There's 0 people in here. Probably because I didn't draw escape routes, actually. I'm glad we got the punk rock playing as our city is about to get destroyed.
A tornado has touched down in the area.
Oh.
Seek shelter immediately.
Oh, there
if
they
any is
are. There's 2 of them. This is getting out of hand. Now there's 2 of them. Yeah, this whole city's gonna die. I mean, that's an underground shelter, Gwen. They just don't care. I think it's because I didn't draw escape routes for the for this shelter, so nobody really knows what to do. Oh well. Well, let's see it. Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Yep.
A thunderstorm is battering the city. Stay indoors until the storm has passed.
Hang on a minute. So these 2 tornadoes are converging in the same part of the city, and somebody decided that that was a perfect time to commit a crime in the industrial sector. Looters, man. They just take it. I'm not gonna say anything. All right. Well, 2 tornadoes just combined into a single. For a moment, they were like a single mega tornado. We've lost about 1,000 people from this. It also even destroyed our part of the sewage grid, so that's great. Sewage treatment is gone now because of that. There are 13 people. Yeah, what could be worse than 2 massive tornadoes? Here is a live one under the rubble, but still okay. It's okay. 28 people made it to the shelter. AJ, we are just destroying Pillow Fort with tornadoes. They kind of drew a chromosome. Well, disaster response is already doing what they can to fix things. Crime rate is high at the pharmacy. Huh, actually, I'm wondering if that actually is a thing in this game, is that if a disaster strikes, will you actually see a uptick in crime? Because I guess that is kind of realistic. You will see like a lot of looting and whatnot as a result of a crime, or as a result of a disaster striking. 231 people are in the shelter now, so consider yourselves lucky. Thank you for doing your res life. A blackout again? Olivia, read the room. Alright, so disaster response is doing what they can to rescue survivors. That more or less halved our population. Alright, Rajan, I think you're right though. It is time for us to drop a meteor. Earthquake, of course, meteor. Let's just let a meteor just strike the original residential zone. So you all should probably just stay in there. Yeah, make sure you bring your dogs there. Hang on, I got this. Be not alarmed, citizens. The mayor has the situation under control. just please calmly evacuate into our designated emergency shelter, which can only fit 1/4 of our population, and await further orders. Your cooperation is very much appreciated. The mayor has everything under control. Alright, a meteor is going to destroy everybody that's left. So let's see how that goes. Yeah, things aren't looking good. Disaster response is doing everything it can, but, oh, that's... They actually... do they use, like, search dogs? Yeah. Very nice. Well, I mean, given the situation, yeah, at least. Yeah, our population more or less got reduced by about 2,000 people as a result of that. The city no longer has... How hard is it to build a working power grid? It's not exactly state-of-the-art tech. These people have no chill.
Astrologists report that a devastating meteor will strike the city in the near future.
Wow.
Residents should seek shelter immediately if any is available.
Wow, she has a lot more panic when there's a meteor. Like, a tornado she just talks about as if it's just like another ordinary run-of-the-mill thing. But a meteor striking, that woman is panicked, which I guess makes sense. Tornado, that would be a lot less common. But still... She was... Disaster response can only do so much with 2 tornadoes and a meteor strike. Oh, there it comes. That is not where I told that to go. Oh my goodness.
A meteor strike has occurred. Avoid the impact site and head to shelter if any is available.
That did not go where I told it to go. Well, there goes highway access, so now the city is just completely cut off. Direct hit on the roundabout, yeah. That meteor was a JoJo fan, am I right? Astrologists are the Zodiac ones. Is that really what it said? Well, I also told a sinkhole to destroy the the industrial zone. So let's let that happen, and then we'll call it tsunami. What? This river's gonna cause a tsunami? Yeah, check for Pulse. That's the song that's playing. It's also, Rajan, if you're listening to the lyrics, it's literally saying, I just want to be somewhere else. Is what this song keeps saying, is the refrain. Okay, at least, so disaster response is finding survivors. See, yeah, check for Pulse. That does seem very insensitive. Especially as it's singing about wanting to be somewhere else. Let's let that sinkhole just destroy the industrial zone, and then we'll call it. How's our shelter doing? 772 people made it inside. I mean, hey, we had 2 tornadoes destroy most of the a lot of the residential zone. Bankruptcy on your city is on the brink of bankruptcy. You can take a bailout to save your city and a $50,000 bailout. I don't need your charity. I can fix this. I just want to be somewhere else. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, be dissatisfied. Move out. You can't even leave because the highway's kind of gone, reduced to atoms. Once that sinkhole hits,
Geologists predict that a sinkhole could strike at any minute. Residents should take precautionary measures.
Jimmy and the Stallion, the only morning show.
multiple problems at the emergency shelter. Yeah, I bet.
4-year-old quarter horse named Clover.
This is Jimmy Fries coming to you from Studio 2. Whoa, whoa! Looks like someone's horse.
All right, that's sinkhole.
Okay. Easy, boy.
Apparently a donut truck. Oh my! Drop the base. Let's see what this looks like. Somebody's already tweeting about it.
Somewhere in the city. Stay out of harm's way and contact authorities with any information.
That is terrifying.
This is Campus Radio, the voice of the poor and beaten down in our society. Not too poor, of course, just a little bit. Anyway,
That didn't do that much damage, but that is terrifying that this massive hole could just appear like that and just take a whole building with it. Alright, well, there's Pillow Fort. Massive 2 tornadoes destroyed most of the residential area. A meteor hit the center of the roundabout, and then a sinkhole just took a factory with it. But don't worry. Hang on, let's just get our photo op going on here. And we'll call it a stream there. Let me just yeah, this is lovely. Let me just don't worry. The citizens of Pillow Fort. Get our photo up here. Citizens of Pillow Fort, I, your mayor, go in the sinkhole. In the sinkhole? It's like the glowing sea from Fallout. Citizens of Pillow Fort, I have everything under control. Yes, this has been a rough 2 days for our city, but we shall persevere. I'm not good at this kind of speech. Yeah, let's go into the sinkhole. Oh god. Oh goodness. Oh, that's not. Oh, that does not look good at all. You are really not meant to do this. Open the shelter. Hey, everybody! You can come out now. Everything's good. Oh yeah. Hang on. Let's get in there. Don't worry, everybody. You can come out of the shelter now. Everything's good. You can... Knock, knock. Everything's good now. Y'all can leave. Did I open that? Oh, they all already left. You don't really file out then. Okay, well... It's a bit of a fixer-upper, but, I was about to save the game. Let's not do that. Your cat was saved by a smoke detector, though, so I'm glad to hear that, Scarlet. We can come back from this, though, as a city. Hey, the walkway survived. So at least you can still walk wherever you need to. The whole area is just, you know, a massive disaster zone. Disaster response is still trying to sort through the rubble and see who they can find. Alright, well, that's a good time to end it. Let's just reload before we did that, so that we can see things on a much better note. Yeah, I'd live there. Okay, so back before any of that happened. Let's plop down our mayor. Alright, well, that's why we need to have this disaster response unit. So, I would like to thank you all for electing me to be your mayor. Nothing but prosperity for us here in Pillow Fort. Thank you for joining us on the stream. Perhaps this is a city I will come back to in future streams. But we shall see. But for now, I have been your mayor, a giraffe, and this has been Pillow Fort in City Skylines. We got to 4,500 people in just about a 3-hour stream, so I'd say that's pretty good progress, but I'm going to go ahead and call it there, and thank you all for joining me. Oh, I'm very glad to hear that, Rajan. I'm glad that you stuck around this entire time and enjoyed it. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and call it there, though.